What's going on? It's your boy Sheiv, the Wise, and welcome back to Vader's Lair. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far, but we got an incredible Mandalorian and Bad Batch Double Up Tuesday. Let's go. Let's get the hype in the chat. If you're a channel member, I want to see that hype. I want to see all the little Grogu emotes. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing good. Let me know in the chat. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun stuff to cover tonight, and we're starting it off with our preview for The Mandalorian Season 3 Episode 2 and The Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 12. Let's get it going and let's do it. Welcome back to the channel, one and all. It is good to see you all in the chat today. Let's get it going because I cannot wait for our watch parties later tonight. They're going to be a fun time. It's good to have some new Star Wars back in our lives, man. It's fun to see people chatting it up in the Discord. There's been a lot of discussions about The Mandalorian as of late. I think a lot of us started to get our brains, the little sparks were starting to ignite after seeing that first episode of what's going down this season, where we're headed. Saw some really cool stuff in episode 1. There was a lot of really fun stuff in episode 1. They packed so much into that one episode that here in episode 2, I'm almost confused as to where we're exactly going. Heck, we could be going multiple places if episode 1 was any indication. But I think the way that, everything's been leaking for the show and for a lot of stuff out there, so I've been trying to dodge left and right, but even I couldn't dodge the episode title. Looks like it's supposed to be Minds of Mandalore, and they did show the first 2 episodes to a lot of the people at a presser, I believe, in Los Angeles, just showing it to some lucky fans or people that worked on the show. Seems like episode 2 is going to be a big one. If we're really going to Minds of Mandalore, it would make sense because throughout all the trailer footage that we've seen, it seems as though some of the only stuff we haven't seen is that Minds of Mandalore stuff, whether it's Grogu throwing that creature with the Force or Mando and him walking down into the mines. I think that might be what we're getting in tonight's episode. What are you guys thinking in the chat, and how is we feeling about The Mandalorian Season 3 so far? Are we excited for tonight's episode? Because I am hype. Let's go. Baby Yoda, good to see you in the chat. Timothy, let me go up in the chat, see what you guys are saying. I'm going up to the top. Smalls says first, yo, welcome in, Smalls. Good to see you in the chat. Talented Mr. Griffin, you welcome in, my dude. Good to see you too. Timothy, my friend, welcome to see you in the chat. You're the GOAT. Much love to you, my friend. Mick MYKKI, 4th place. Welcome into the chat, everybody. Welcome in. Alright, Rerum Trading, 6 liked. Welcome in, my man. Don Clouderman, it is good to see you. It is definitely a lit night tonight to the Minds of Mandalore. Indeed. Let's go. The hype is real. Steve Starenka, hey, what up, my guy? Good to see you in the chat. Dale says, are we in prediction mode tonight, Sheiv? I do have some pretty crazy predictions, I will say that. So we'll get into some crazy stuff here in a minute, but I'm gonna catch up to the rest of the chat here, see what you guys are saying. What do we think is happening? Do you guys have any predictions for tonight? Let me know. Tex Avenger Bobby, what up with you, my guy? Good to see you in the chat. Let's go indeed. Loving all the hype. Taylor Sneed, it's good to see you too. Hey, welcome in. Where are we? Look at this place. Sparkling pale face. I know. The light is just... yeah. See, there's no in between. It's either this or it's pale face. You know what I mean? There you go. That was kind of in between. Alright. What? Can you... Whoa. Weird. That was weird. You guys can still hear me, right? That was weird. Alright. We're good. We're all good, I believe. Washing the color out. Yeah, there's no in between. I don't know what just happened to my audio, and now I can't hear myself. So that's great. Moni G, welcome into the chat. Cheers to you. So let's get into some of these crazy predictions for episode 2 here, because I do have some pretty wild ones. Based off of what we saw in the first episode, I think there's a couple of things coming. If we are going to the Mines of Mandalore, I think Din is going to need to get either IG-11's chip and unit kind of thing for the new droid that, or you know, reviving the IG droid, or he's gonna have to go and get R5 from Pelimato, because we've seen that in some of the trailers too, where R5 is in the cockpit of the N1 starfighter. I still think there's some more Grogu scenes to see, but we could be going back to Tatooine tonight as well as maybe to Mandalore, and it would be so cool to see Din trusting droids enough to be like, you know what, R5 was cursing me out in the Book of Boba Fett. Droids aren't so bad. Do you want to maybe, I know, you're right. Do you want to maybe, you know, go in the droid pit? Come on, my dude. And also, I love the fact some fans pointed out on Twitter, like, it doesn't even logically make sense for R5 to fit in that little portion of the N1. His bottom would bottom out of the ship, you know what I mean? It's just, Star Wars is great. Same thing with the Jedi fighters, like, they technically would be, yeah, anyway. So, would be really cool if we do end up going to Tatooine. I think that could be the case. If we do end up seeing Din get kind of the chip or internal unit for IG-11, someone else had a crazy theory. Maybe he gets it from IG-88 from back on Bespin, where Boba Fett destroyed him, and we see him kind of in the droid factory. I don't even know what it was back in Empire, you know what I mean? But when C-3PO is all pulled apart, we see IG-88 back in the day kind of stuck there, and someone's like, what if Din goes to Bespin? That's a crazy theory. I would definitely be a big fan of it, although I think IG-88 was also repurposed in the comics or rebuilt in the comics, so he wouldn't even be on Bespin, and I don't know how Din would exactly find him on Bespin, but hey man, those IG heads are kind of hanging in every bar and Tatooine and, you know, throughout the galaxy, if you guys didn't know, so maybe Din could just pull one out of there. That's a deep lore reference. That was pretty funny. Brandon Alvarado, welcome into the chat. As far as what else could happen tonight, I would love if Din does get somehow baptized beneath the waters of Mandalore, although it is possible too that he maybe isn't able to do that. What if there's no water beneath the mines? Maybe he finds the mines and there's no water down there. But I do think if he ends up going to Mandalore at all, it'll kind of prove that, hey, the theory that Mandalore is completely destroyed and gassed to where it's poisonous to even walk on, I think Din's going to disprove that and be like, dude, it's fine. It's fine. It might not even be the same glass that they think it is. You know, maybe the Jawas just found a piece of glass with some, you know, Mandalorian hieroglyphics on there, whatever, you know what I mean? The Ugnaughts get it for the Jawas. What now, Dale? What is we talking about now? Still on Mando storming the temple for the Darksaber. Ooh, I would love to see a flashback of that. I would love to see that of the Vizsla clan. Yeah, that would be sick. I can't wait for next week's episodes of Mando and for next week or for the week episodes. No, me too. I can't wait for it either. It's gonna be hype. Hey Tim, thank you for throwing it into the chat. My goat says join the Vader's Lair Discord server. Do it. Boys. Dat boy Steve, what up? Good to see you. You haven't missed too much. We're just talking about some Mandalorian and what we think could potentially happen. So we already said that we think maybe we're gonna end up going to Tatooine, since the IG droid might be taken a little bit to be rebuilt. Who knows what's going to end up happening to him, and he's not going to be able to have a brain potentially unless Din goes and finds one. So, maybe he goes to the only other person he knows with the droid that he might trust, going to Pelimato and getting R5 from her, the droid that blew its motivator back in A New Hope. It's now come all the way full circle to where it had no motivation, and a guy that would have no motivation to have a droid finally has motivation to hire a droid. Getting R5 in his N1, it would just be beautiful. So maybe that happens tonight based on what we've seen in the trailers. And I do think that we're going to get probably the rest of the footage, if not most of the rest of the footage that we've seen. It seemed like a lot of the footage we saw from the trailers already was in that first episode. Heck, like I said already, they filled a lot into that first episode, whether it was seeing kind of the new Children of the Watch fortress on Lake Powell, or whatever you want to call it. Whether it was going to Grief Karga on Navarro, setting up the IG-11 plot, wherever that's going to lead. And then we even get space whales, which brings me to the most fun theory I have maybe of the night. Alright, so sit down if you're standing up. Pull your socks off, because they're going to get blown off. Because we got a crazy theory. We know that Grogu has beast control, or at least he's shown to have beast control in the past. That's a force ability that certain Jedi have been shown to have. One of the most notorious Jedi to have beast control, other than Anakin Skywalker, is that of Ezra Bridger, who's probably the most prominent user of it ever. I mean, when you really think about how Ezra has used beast control, I've never seen a Jedi use it quite like Ezra Bridger. And of course, along with Ezra Bridger and his connection to Force animals and beast control, we see him in the Star Wars Rebels finale, which just had its anniversary, blast off into hyperspace with Grand Admiral Thrawn and his entire fleet using beast control with Purrgil, and kind of using his Force connection to them to save Lothal. In The Mandalorian Season 3 Episode 1, we see Grogu see Purrgil in the hyperspace lane that him and Din are in. Din is fast asleep. A lot of fans have thought if Luke isn't quite the right teacher for Grogu, at least at this point, maybe Ezra Bridger could be, as they both have a strong connection to beast control, it seems like. What if Grogu's connection is on that same level as Ezra's, or even stronger, to where there's going to be a point maybe in the season where Din is fast asleep, Grogu sees the Purrgil again, and he uses the Force to connect with them and get closer to them, and maybe ends up following them in the hyperspace lanes on accident, like kind of changing the trajectory of wherever Din is trying to go, to end up following these Purrgil, or end up, being attached to them in a way where they end up going wherever the Purrgil are going. And Din ends up potentially finding himself in unknown space or uncharted regions of the galaxy. That would be freaking cool to me, if that's kind of how the season ends. Like, you have this whole story, and we get this little tiny setup, and at the very end, Din and Grogu just blast off to wherever it was that Thrawn and Ezra ended up blasting off to at the end of Star Wars Rebels. That would be cool. Alright, what is we saying in the chat though? Brandon Tran, welcome in, says maybe in the final Din Djarin will go back to Mandalore and be down crossed by Bo, who still wants the Darksaber to rule on the throne. That would be, eesh. If she stabbed him in the back, that would be ruthless. Kind of sounds like Bo-Katan to me. I'm okay with it. Wouldn't be happy though, because I'm a big Din stan. I love me Din Djarin. Anakin Skywalker, I'm good, dude. I'm actually pretty exhausted. Had a long weekend, and a very fun weekend, but very long weekend with some work. Happy to be back. Happy to be back streaming with you guys. Happy to get that opportunity to work again. I'm exhausted though. I need some sleep probably after this stream before our watch party. So I'm doing good though overall. I'm pretty freaking hype for tonight. All right, what else is we saying in the chat? Hello there, Anakin Skywalker and Moni G. Moni G says, questions. So, if they helmet the youth, how do they upgrade when their helmets get bigger without exposing their face? No, there was kind of a joke question of this going around on Twitter. I even was kind of wondering in our Discord, how do they upgrade? Because obviously the kid Mando that we see, I think his name is Ragnar. he is kind of the foundling of Paz Vizsla, is kind of what a lot of us in the fandom are thinking. Although it's possible maybe because the Vizsla clan, you know, has been stretching so long, maybe Paz actually had his own kid, but I don't know. That's just a deep theory. But Ragnar potentially is the foundling to Paz Vizsla, and we see that he has kind of a small kid helmet that perfectly kind of fits his head. How would it upgrade? Like, how did they take their helmets off without showing their face to upgrade? You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a head scratcher, but I don't know. Maybe they just take it off and leave it in a room and walk in a different room, or, you know, walk into some other place. I don't know if it'll ever be explained, but it is kind of a funny little like plot hole to their whole ritual. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny to think about. Ezra and Grogu, says Moni G. I'm all for it, man. Please. I like that theory, says Darth Maximus. It's definitely a fun theory, and it's so fun that they didn't have to show us a little scene of Grogu seeing the Purgle in hyperspace. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So it begs the question, why? Why would they do that? Why would you stab me in the heart like that, Dave? Especially right before the Rebels, Rebels finale. What's it called? Anniversary. Like, it was literally the anniversary of the finale just the other day. I think the 5-year anniversary, which is mind-blowing. Is it really 5 years? Was it 4? I hope it was 4. Time is flying by. Is Rebels finale in 0 BBY? That means Ezra and Thrawn have been gone like 6+ years. I hope they fill in those gaps one day. Yeah, they've been gone for like 9, maybe 10 years at this point, depending on, the whole Jon Favreau timeline and everything. They kind of cleared it up, but not cleared it up recently. I don't know. Dave Filoni tried to say we're still somewhere around 10 BBY. I have no idea. I have no idea anymore. I don't know if we started in 6 BBY or 9 BBY. I don't know if it's 20 BBY. I don't know if Bo-Katan is 80 or 50. I'm just kidding. That's what some of the fans on Twitter were saying. I'm like, relax. Bo-Katan's in her early 50s. She's looking fantastic. She's Bo-Katan. Whew. Love me some Bo-Katan. What up with you, Sabersmith? Welcome into the chat. Ashhammer, what up? Says, my car's transmission broke like last week, so now I'm getting a new car with a car loan. Well, that might be good then. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me keep reading. It sucks that your transmission broke, bro. I'm so sorry about that. Actually got approval for a Camaro. Dude, didn't expect to be able to get a sport muscle car, but I might. Dude, that's awesome. Just be responsible. Just know it can be a lot of money. Even monthly payments and everything. But dude, congrats to you. That's freaking awesome. I hope that works out. I hope you get something fun like that Camaro you're hoping to get, dude. That's what's up. I'll keep you guys updates, I'll keep you guys updated. Gonna look at cars next Friday. Let's go. That's what's up, Ash. Happy for you, my man. I hope it works out too. And he says, I've gone through so much recently. I deserve something amazing like this. Indeed you do, my friend. Indeed you do. Tim. Kylie says, did you see Star Wars Celebration schedule? So I haven't been looking too much at the Star Wars Celebration schedule just yet. I've been really busy as of late. I did notice it, and there was also some kind of movie news today that might end up having to do with something at Celebration. But I do know that there's a lot going on. I know that there's a Bad Batch panel, which begged the question on Twitter, does that mean season 3? We'll see. And 4 and 5. Come on, fam. Keep up with Sheiv. I've been saying this. Like 5 seasons of Bad Batch since season 1. Come on. I'm gonna go over that Variety article for sure, Tim. And we'll check it out and see what they had to say. I haven't gone through all of it myself yet, but I'm gonna go over it with you guys. Maul Walker, welcome into the chat. Happy to see you in here. Howdy to you. 10 years after Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Scarlet Witch avenge Palpatine? Say what? sorry, 9 ABY. Yes, I think 9 ABY is the start of the Mandoverse. So season 1 is technically 9 BBY. Dave Filoni said that he thinks we're still in 10 BBY. Jon Favreau said that Grogu spent a couple of years with Din and Luke, and oh, my brain. I think we're still in like 9 or 10 BBY, but I have no idea. I'm here for the ride. I'm enjoying the story. That's what matters. Tim says, I think Bad Batch is going to have 4 seasons. That worked really well for Rebels. It could. I'm excited to see tonight's episode, and we'll get into that a little bit. I don't even know fully what to expect. But I'm excited for it, man. It should be a fun episode. I think we're going to cap off this season with a bang, and season 3 is going to have some setup as well. So I'm excited for it, dude. I'm excited as heck for at least another season of Bad Batch after the second one. And I do think that there's going to be 4 or 5. I'm crossing my fingers for 5, although you're right. 4 worked really well for Rebels. They got plenty of time to tell the stories they want. You know what I mean? They got all the time in the world. Happy that they're having a Bad Batch panel, though, and it gets me really excited for the fans that are going, because I went to the Bad Batch panel for last Celebration. It was a doozy, man. It was a real fun Celebration panel. I loved it. Ashhammer says, I still hope they show Boba in Bad Batch. Would be such a sad missed opportunity. I think there's definitely room to. I think they could. I'm not sure if Omega would have an interaction with him. I would love if she did. But I think they might be saving that for the Mandoverse. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up translating Omega to the Mandoverse at some point. And perfect way to do that would be a third season of maybe third season of Bad Batch will be it. But, you know, if they do 3 or 4, like I'm thinking they will, then that 4th season, maybe they even kind of set her up to be in the Mandoverse. And then we see her in a Book of Boba season 2 or something like that. That would be really cool. And Hondo, dude, I would love to see Hondo, Timothy. Me, freaking. Oh, that's Smalls. I would love to see Hondo. I still hope they show Boba. Yeah, me too. This may be it for the Sid episodes. Ooh, maybe. I'm interested. We definitely could have the Bad Batch going back to Sid and kind of being like, yo, we done. You sent us after this thing. Do you know what that thing was? That was the Zillow Beast. Your intel's been real bad lately, and you're a real shady character, Sid. We're done with you. This is a Crosshair episode. Cabinality, yeah. Try to keep the spoilers out of the chat, my man. I know you've been here a couple of times throwing some spoilers in. Please. Keep the spoilers out of the chat. We're going to try to make that a bigger thing here. I've heard that as well. A lot of people have been saying that in the chat as of late, that this is supposed to be a Crosshair episode. So if it is, maybe we're following the Crosshair the whole time, but I'm still kind of up in the air about that, and to see if we're going to see much of the Bad Batch or if we're going to follow Crosshair the whole time. If it does end up being a Crosshair episode, I don't know exactly what to expect. And give me any ideas if you guys have any. Like, I've heard speculation throughout the season, maybe he's going to become a Death Trooper, or they're going to promote him at some point, especially with Rampart being gone. But then we did have Jen Corbett post a picture on Twitter. And since we're already getting into some Bad Batch talk, I'll just pull it up here. Give me 1 second. But Jen Corbett, who is the showrunner, and of course the Kiner brothers as well, have been basically going around and posting every week some little teasers for the Bad Batch. So let me pull this up, because this one was real fun. It's from the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, which is an incredible, pretty insane movie. I've seen a little bit of it, and it is terrifying, I will say. There's some good acting in that, but let me pull this up for you guys and you can see exactly what I'm talking about here, because it looks like it could be a crazy episode. And if it is a Crosshair centric episode, I think it's going to make a lot of sense with this. So check this out. She says, you've asked and asked and asked, but be careful what you wish for. Season 2, episode 12 of The Bad Batch drops Wednesday. Hashtag the outpost. I don't know what that outpost means. Interesting kind of tweet there. Kristen Baver says, I'm scared, Jen. And Jen Corbett posts a little gif of, of the gingerbread man pooping his jelly beans. But interesting stuff here. You've asked and asked and asked, but be careful what you wish for. Season 2, episode 12. My buddy Green Bear, I think, on Twitter was even like, does this mean Clone Rebellion? And I've been saying that almost every week. I'm like, the Clone Rebellion's coming. It looks like it's coming, right? I totally see where he's coming from with the Clone Rebellion here. And we have been asking and asking, when is the Clone Rebellion coming? Because it's got to be coming soon, right? What if this is supposed to be Crosshair? And he's kind of finally realizing, yo, this Empire thing ain't it. Nope. You know what I mean? And the Outpost trench warfare, yeah. Yeesh. So what if we do get something like that where Crosshair is starting to realize this Empire stuff ain't it? Everybody else has kind of had that similar reaction. Even Cody kind of had that reaction, right? So now we get Crosshair in a crazy situation where he's having to do some stuff and he realizes this is not what I should be doing. The Empire, I should have gone with my boys. What did I do? What did I do? You know what I mean? That's the kind of Crosshair episode I think we get tonight, if we get one at all. Maybe we could see Cody return too. Yeah, oh my gosh, if we did. Maybe it's even Scorch, because we saw Scorch was in the latest episode. He's one of the commando clones that's on Mount Tantus. And maybe like some of the commandos have even been brainwashed to a point where they end up like this. You know what I mean? They're just like, I'm doing it against my own will. You know what I mean? Like, crazy friggin' gift that Jen Corbett used there. And then I think the Kiner brothers posted something today too. So let me pull this up for y'all. Let's see what their tease was. Oh yeah, this one's fun. Hashtag the Bad Batch. Redacted. Their favorite thing. Redacted. I don't know whose characters these are. Can't really see any letters popping out from it. But give me your best guess, guys, in the chat. What do you guys think that this is that the Kiner brothers are trying to tease us of? Are two of the members of the Bad Batch going to go at it? Are we going to see Cody or Rampart? Maybe Cody comes back for Crosshair and he's like, go on, you. Maybe it's even Crosshair getting his revenge on Rampart or something. I would love that. He's like, you made me do all this terrible stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's the Bad Batch choking out Crosshair after he leaves and tries to come back to the Bad Batch. And the Bad Batch are like, you've done so much terrible stuff. I don't know. Who's throttling who? Yeah, straight up, Dawn. I have no idea. Kylie says it's from The Simpsons. Of course it's from The Simpsons. It's Bart getting choked out by Homer. That's the name of the episode, Sheiv. The Outpost. Oh! Yeah, I kind of went into this one blind. I forgot to look at what the episode title is, The Outpost. So maybe we're going to even be going back to Mount Tantus, and Crosshair is going to get his first look of what's going on really here on Mount Tantus, and that's going to be maybe what makes him have that reaction that Jen Corbett was given this one. Because if I was stationed on Mount Tantus, I would have this reaction after seeing some of the stuff that Palpatine's got going on there too. You know what I mean? I guess we'll know when we see it. We absolutely will, Dale. I cannot wait for tonight's episode of The Bad Batch. I think it's going to be a good one. So while we're at it, let's pull up this article from Variety. If it's not like superly weird. Okay, it looks good. It looks good. So, Star Wars shakeup, Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins movies shelve. Taika Waititi looking to Star Wars in his own film exclusive. When Jon Favreau stepped onto the red carpet for the Season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian on February 28th, the Disney Plus show creator and executive producer was feeling nostalgic. It's been a while since we've all been together here like this, Favreau told Variety, evoking the November 2019 premiere for the launch of the show and Disney Plus itself. He said it was before the first episode aired, and at that time, The Mandalorian was a scrappy land speeder in the vast Star Wars galaxy, nipping at the heels of The Rise of Skywalker, the culminating feature film from director J.J. Abrams that was expected to drop just a month later to obliterate the box office like the cinematic Death Star. Yeah. It was expected to absolutely blow it up. Instead, The Mandalorian became a global sensation thanks to the incandescent, interesting choice of word, the incandescent cuteness of baby Grogu. It says Baby Yoda, but he's Grogu. Blasting Disney Plus into light speed with 26.5 million subscribers in the first 6 weeks. That's pretty impressive. The Rise of Skywalker, on the other hand, imploded in spectacular fashion. The film earned just half the grosses of 2015's The Force Awakens and the widespread scorn of fans. And Star Wars movie development have been stuck in the bogs of Dagobah ever since. Whereas Disney Plus boasts a robust fleet of live-action Star Wars series, 3 streamed in 2022 alone, not a single Star Wars movie has received a green light, let alone gone into production. That's definitely true. The earliest a film is scheduled to be debuted in theaters is December of 2025, 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. Hey man, we all waited much longer than that before, you know what I mean? It's not for wanting of trying. In December of 2020, Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Kennedy announced that Wonder Woman helmer Patty Jenkins would be directing the next Star Wars movie, the one-off adventure Rogue Squadron. But in September of 2022, Disney pulled the title from its scheduled 2023 December release. Need some water. There's some water. My bad, y'all. Lots of talking. Where was I? So, Disney pulled the Rogue Squadron title from its December 2023 release, which would have been later this year, and sources with knowledge of the production say it is no longer in active development at the studio. A rep for Lucasfilm did not respond to a request for comment in December of 2022. Jenkins said in a statement that she was still in development of Rogue Squadron, but she did not know if it would happen. Meanwhile, Variety has learned that a possible Star Wars feature produced by Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige is also no longer in active development. When news of Feige's involvement in Star Wars film broke in September of 2019, it churned up fan speculation since widely debunked that he was in line to replace Kennedy as leader of Lucasfilm. Yeah, that was never happening. The movie remained alive as recently as May of 2022, when screenwriter Michael Waldron of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and also Loki told Variety that he'd start working on a Star Wars screenplay for Feige. Did I say Feige? The Variety thing threw me off there. I'm enjoying having the freedom on that to do something that's not necessarily a sequel or anything, Waldron had said. And 5 months later, Feige hired Waldron to write the script for the 2026 Avengers: Secret Wars and Endgame. The culmination, or basically Secret Wars and the Endgame style culmination of Marvel Studios that was leading to that, basically, from the multiverse saga. Between the project and the 19 other titles that Marvel had announced for theaters and streaming in the next 4 years, Feige's responsibilities to the MCU have kept him far, far away from the Star Wars universe for much of the decade. And as for Rian Johnson, the in-demand filmmaker has made no secret that he still wants to work on a Star Wars movie. He first announced in 2017 before the release of the film The Last Jedi, and Kennedy had been clear that Lucasfilm still wants him. But Johnson's immediate priority is continuing his Benoit Blanc movies with Daniel Craig for Netflix season 2 of his hit Peacock series Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne. I hope I said that right. Oh my god, what the heck just happened? will keep him occupied for the foreseeable future. So what Star Wars movie could slot into the open December 2025 release? Sources say Thor: Love and Thunder filmmaker Taika Waititi continues to work on his possible Star Wars feature, and he would most likely have a part in it as well. That was news today as well, that basically Taika was hoping that he would have a part in his movie, which we do know he plays IG-11 or does the voice of IG-11. So that is one way he could potentially star in a Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, if he's, the voice of an IG droid. That would be pretty cool. He may not be kind of the main character, and I don't think he would be, so don't think that, but he would be he would star in it. He would be a character in it most likely, if it still happens as well. So similar in prominence to his studio standout role as the imaginary Adolf Hitler in his Oscar-winning 2019 feature Jojo Rabbit, which is a crazy movie. And although Lucasfilm has yet to officially confirm it, sources say that the studio is committed to a Star Wars movie from director Shreem. The way it's worded on here has me thrown for a loop. Abadachinoy. I'm gonna. Whoo! That's bad. That was real bad. Come on, Sheiv. Chinoy. I hope I said that right. Shreem Chinoy. Come on. Please tell me I said that right. A two-time Oscar-winning documentarian. What is with this article, man? I swear Variety throws in just fun words for the sake of it. I'm like, come on, man. Let the normal person read this. I'm normal. I can't read this right now. I just got off of work, man. Who made her live-action narrative debut with 2 episodes of 2022's Ms. Marvel for Disney+. So that's Shreem Chinoy. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. Damon Lindelof's, who recently had done, not really recently, but Damon Lindelof, who did Watchmen, and Justin Britt Gibson counterpart, were attached in October to write scripts for that movie. So that was the most recent thing. Whew. This is a lot. All right, what is we saying in the chat? Brandon Tran says, if Echo dies for real this time, since he has no Rebels plot armor, then I hope his sacrifice is saving more clones. Me too, man. I don't want to see Echo die, because that would hurt. That would hurt a lot. I don't want to see that. I don't think any of us do. Timothy says, I don't know why we had to throw that in there. I don't know either. They really didn't need to, right? Tim says they did kind of make us hype for a movie this year, and now we have to wait until 2025. So some of the criticism is deserved. Definitely, man. I mean, I totally think that all of us definitely need to be patient, and we've waited quite a while now for a Star Wars movie. Again, by 2025, it'll be 6 years. So yes, in some aspects, you guys gotta kind of get on it at some point. But also, they are killing it on Disney Plus, in my opinion, with stuff like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, which is coming, adding things to it like Skeleton Crew. They have been doing a lot on Disney Plus, and I think they're still going to be continuing to do some really good stuff on Disney Plus. But yeah, their movie department has been lacking, and their kind of commitment to a movie has been lacking because of the kind of, fan uproar of the sequels. And I kind of understand it in a way. It makes it a lot harder to go about making a movie, but there is some stuff I think that they can do as well, and hopefully they can learn from it and everything. I've not seen what that happened. Okay, where was I? Someone implied what happens to Crosshair is worse than death. Oh my god, what is happening? Articles got you hyped for some reveals next month at Star Wars Celebration. Dude, for real though. Whoever wrote this article, I recommend proofreading before publishing the article. It might also just be me and my dyslexia, apparently. Alright, finishing off the article. Whether one of those films or some as yet unannounced project lands at the front of the lines has been a fiercely guarded secret at Lucasfilm. And yeah, it has. It definitely has. But sources say that the studio will begin to unveil its plan for the future of Star Wars cinema at Star Wars Celebration Convention in London the weekend of April 7th. That announcement, however, will be complete with expected updates for at least 4 Disney Plus series, including the final season of the critically acclaimed Andor, new shows from Leslie Headland and John Watts, and the first major push for Ahsoka, a spin-off series of The Mandalorian, and the animated series The Clone Wars, as well as Star Wars Rebels. And of course, it's going to be starring Rosario Dawson, which aims to debut late in the summer. So as soon as summer, we could be getting the Ahsoka show, which is like not too far after all this Mando stuff, and of course Celebration. Hopefully we get a clear date soon. But with that note, I think that we're gonna be doing our Star Wars Rebels rewatch soon. We did just pass the 5-year mark of the finale of Star Wars Rebels, and I think in the next couple of weeks here, I'm gonna chart it out tonight, but I think in the next couple of weeks here, we're gonna be doing our Star Wars Rebels rewatch leading up to Ahsoka, and that's gonna be a blast of a time, man, because I absolutely love Star Wars Rebels. With the whole hashtag Rebels Remembered, if you've never seen Star Wars Rebels, do it, please. Star Wars Rebels is probably one of my favorite television shows ever, let alone Star Wars things ever. Star Wars Rebels is literally my favorite Star Wars project, probably of all time. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, or definitely subscribe to the channel so that you can rewatch it alongside us, because I'll break down every single detail. I've seen this show 6 times. It's just an incredible show, man. It is very good. MK Matt says, "Yo, Sheiv, I saw your tweet on how much Rebels means to you, and man, I couldn't agree more. That show is so special and has gotten me through some of my toughest times." Me too, man. Me too. Me friggin' too. Definitely some great writing. Didn't we just do Rebels? No, we recently just did a whole Mando marathon. We were watching all the Mandalorian episodes before the season started, and then before that, we watched all of the Clone Wars. Trying to think what else we've rewatched. We did the Mando watch parties. We did Bad Batch is what we've been watching, but no Rebels we watch yet. It is coming, and it will be. I will make it a spectacle because I love that show. Every single scene, I nitpick. I will probably be like, "Yo, this here." Like, I was even talking about in the Discord. Like, someone was like, "Oh, when Kanan goes, Sheiv is gonna be balling and whatnot." I'm like, dude, season 1 episode 10, season 1 episode 13, I'm gonna be balling just from the foreshadowing, my guy. There's so much to pick up on rewatches of Rebels, so definitely make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, join us for our Star Wars Rebels rewatches, because we're gonna be starting up here in the next couple of weeks, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Man, are you making me want to watch Rebels now? Me too. It's good. That was me, Smalls. Yes. And of course, Sabersmith, I love that you always say this. Rebels equals Star Wars. A big Star Wars hug. It really is. It really is a big hug. Ahsoka Season 1 is secretly Rebels Season 5. I'm with it, Brandon Tran. If that is the case, I'm definitely with it, and it seems more and more likely that we could be getting some setup, and let's transition back over to some Mandalorian Season 3, because I think there could be some setup for the Ahsoka series in this show. With the Purgle, I feel like they're going balls to the wall with it, you know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, Rebel stuff is coming. We just gave you some Purgle in hyperspace. It's coming. And I think with that, it's even maybe a tease for what the big reveal is at the end of the season. I don't know if that's really the case. There wasn't a big reveal at the beginning of this season in particular, but I think there's going to be some big stuff coming. Maybe it's even a sign that we could be seeing Sabine Wren, since all of this is taking place with Mandalore and the Mandalorians. Sabine probably hasn't been there in years. Heck, the Night of 1,000 Tears probably happened while she was stationed on Lothal trying to protect it for Ezra. So she's been kind of out of this whole thing. What if she hears the call from Bo-Katan or Din or something, and maybe it's even through Ahsoka that she hears it, and Ahsoka gets called to help Din and Bo-Katan. I don't know where the season's exactly going with Mandalore, but I don't think it's going to be glass, and I think we're going to see that tonight. and I think that Din is going to try to reunite his people, and whether he becomes Mandalore, Bo-Katan becomes Mandalore, or maybe Boba Fett down the line does, I don't know. I think that we're going to get some answers soon, and I think that we are getting some Star Wars Rebels stuff and hopefully some setup for Ahsoka. But how are we feeling, and what do you guys think about Mando tonight? Let me know in the chat how excited you are and what your last predictions are. We're going to be hanging around for another 10 to 15 minutes, so get them in. Are we all chopper shills? Brandon Alvarado, I am a huge chopper shill. I used to love R2-D2 growing up. That was probably my favorite droid as a kid. But that's because Chopper didn't exist. I love Chopper. I love the fact that that little devil is Dave Filoni. And it's just, we're going to do some rewatches. And I'm going to, when we do, I'm going to be like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio in that meme where he's like, that there. There's going to be some moments where I'm like, that's Dave Filoni talking. That's not Chopper. Hashtag Chopper life indeed. I love all the droids, but Chopper and R2 are the GOATs. You said it, Star Wars MCU OG. You absolutely said it, Tim. I know, right? Taunton, Mr. Griffin says, cautiously optimistic as to how the World Between Worlds will be used in live action. Still excited for Ahsoka though. Me too, man. I had a theory a long time ago that maybe Ahsoka will then go on to save Ezra, and she'll end up pulling him and Thrawn through the World Between Worlds. Not on purpose, but like she'll end up going into the World Between Worlds to save Ezra before the hyperspace blast. The same way that you know, Ezra saved Ahsoka back in the day before Vader slashed her. But obviously that's probably not what happened. We know that Thrawn is out there somewhere, so maybe Thrawn and Ezra just got blasted off together. Maybe they became buddies. Who knows? But I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. There also was this big like ECC con recently. I don't know exactly what it stands for, but somebody asked Katie Sackhoff, the actress who plays Bo-Katan, if Thrawn was in the season. All I can say is she had a bigger smile than I did right now. She was straight up like beaming, like, oh, like I didn't watch it, but like I saw some pictures. Do you guys think that Thrawn could be in Mando season 3? I was saying it before the first episode. First of all, I haven't seen any spoilers or anything like that because I've been dodging them left and right. Like, oh, can't hit me. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any real spoilers for the season. I've seen like one thing that's like a minor Grogu thing, but I don't even want to spoil it for anybody that don't know that. You know, dodge them if you can. It's real hard these days. But I've been saying, man, I think Thrawn could be in this season. He was already set up in season 2 with Ahsoka kind of being like, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? They gotta kind of show him in Mando, right? Kind of get us all hyped for Ahsoka. At least give me a little like post-credit teaser of Thrawn. Come on. All right. We're gonna do a poll. We're gonna do a poll. You guys aren't telling me what you think. Do you think Thrawn is in this season? Yes or no? Do you think Thrawn is in this season? Let me know in the poll that we just put up into the chat. Brandon Tran, I know you want some Thrawn. He says if Thrawn appears in Mando season 3, then I hope he plays Lars Lars Mikkelsen is playing him for live action. Me too. Timothy says, nah, it's gonna be Ahsoka. But we could have Ahsoka finding Thrawn. You know what I mean? Like, just like in Book of Boba Fett, how we have Grogu and Luke hanging out together for half of the Book of Boba Fett, and Din, doing his thing in Book of Boba Fett. Just have Ahsoka doing some stuff in The Mandalorian, and have Boba Fett doing some stuff in The Mandalorian too. All the shows can blend together. The only thing is, I wish that they did more episodes per season. Like, I get it, live action stuff takes a lot longer to produce, and 8 episodes of 40-ish minutes takes a lot. 12 episodes would be cool too. Andor did it, come on. Just Do it. Do it, Dave and John. 12 episode seasons. Stop with this 8 stuff. It's all right. They honestly tell what they like a full story in 8 episodes, so it's okay. It's okay. They can do that, but I want more, and I should. It's good. Josh Hudson says post credit and season finale to set up Ahsoka. Yes, do it. Timothy, what up? Hold up. Where was it? I don't know, man. Saber Smith says Kyle Katarn is the GOAT. He was at ECC asking all the questions for us. Yeah, dude. I got some love for Kyle, dude. I love seeing him tweet, and I got a lot of same takes as him. Kyle's a good dude, it seems like. Definitely got some love for Kyle Katarn. Shout out to him. Maybe in post-cred. Yee. I hope we do get him in a post-credit. Talented Mr. Griffin says, I think we'll get Sabine in a post-credit scene. I would love that. Maybe it's going to be that, that last scene of Star Wars Rebels where Ahsoka walks up. Maybe we see that in as kind of a last scene of Mando leading into Ahsoka. I mean, it was the last scene of Rebels already, so double cliffhanger with us, you know what I mean? Do it again. You want to see me do it again? Or Thrawn? Hey man, I thought that Thrawn maybe could be in Andor season 2. Maybe we get our first look in some Ahsoka and in here in Mando this year, and then in Andor season 2 maybe we see him again next year. That would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Have a question for you. Are you going the Mandalore and Star Wars The Bad Batch? Yeah, we are MYKKI. We are going to be doing our watch parties later tonight, starting at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's about 7:30 a.m. European Standard Time. I don't know what the European time is. I'm sorry, but around 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be starting our watch parties, and we are going to be watching The Mandalorian first and then The Bad Batch second. So we're going to be doing a separate stream for The Bad Batch, watching that around 1:30 maybe tonight, to give some people a little extra time to chat it up with us about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2 later. Yes, gimme, Steve Sorega, me too. The Book of Boba Season 2 with Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson. Yes, damn it. Tim says, you didn't see my comment because I said he was going to show up in Ahsoka. He will. He definitely will. Let me go back up a little bit. Brandon Tran. I read that one. Chopper and his infamous body count. Of course, talented Mr. Griffin. He has the highest of all the droids. Dude, he tried to kill some Inquisitors, and we're going to see that during our Rebels rewatch. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're going to learn to love R5 indeed, Dawn. I think so, too. Last episode was dope. It's only going to get better. I can't wait for tonight. Me too, Tim. It's going to be a freaking blast. All right, we're going to get out of here in the next couple of minutes. So if you guys have any last thoughts before we get into Season 3, Episode Season 3, Episode 2 later, make sure to throw it into the chat. I can't wait for it later tonight. I can't wait to see you guys there, and I cannot wait for our Star Wars Rebels rewatch either. Do you think Bad Batch could travel to Mandalore and we'll see the Empire, what the Empire has done to it in a future season? Probably not, because it's way too early. I mean, Mandalore during the time of the Bad Batch has kind of already been destroyed through civil war between all the Mandalorians, right? So at that time, that's probably what's going on after this whole Maul stuff at the end of the Clone Wars. And I don't think we're going to see it too much in Bad Batch at all. I think most of the focus is on the clones more so than Mandalorians. But I would love to see Mandalore at some point in the Bad Batch. But it's not, the Night of 1,000 Tears doesn't happen anywhere near the timeline of the Bad Batch, unfortunately. But I do think Bad Batch and Mando could have some crossovers as soon as the next couple of weeks, potentially, with all the Mount Tantus cloning, the cloning we've seen in the Mandalorian already. I think that stuff might be coming around the corner. So, who knows? When is Rebels rewatch, says KG. I don't have a definitive date yet, but I'm going to map it out. Obviously, we don't know when Ahsoka's coming, but I want to be able to start some of the episodes soon so that we could get it going before Ahsoka does eventually pop up like that, because it will. It's going to be around the corner before we know it, right? So let's say either this weekend or next weekend, because I want to do it soon. I want to get it going soon. We could at least watch the first 2 or 3 episodes. And I mean, there's 4 seasons to get through before Ahsoka, so I'm down to get it going here. That's the best answer I can give you. If you want to know more and keep updated, I'll give you guys a better answer in the announcements section of our Discord. So go join our Discord in the link in the description below. I'm sure my boy Tim has already thrown it into the chat. Heck yeah, I could throw it in too. Tim will probably beat it to me because he's that good. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can do it before him. My computer's lagging. He's probably gonna for sure do it before me. Hold on, invite. If you guys are interested in joining the see, Tim already did it. Tim already did. Look at him, the goat. No chance. No, I definitely had no chance. I had to load up my Discord. It wasn't gonna happen. He's too quick with the draw. It's like trying to go up against Cad Bane in a draw in a duel match. You're not gonna win. That's the GOAT right there. Alright, go check out our Discord though. I just put it into the chat. Tim just put it into the chat. And I'll give you guys some announcements on when our official Rebels rewatch is beginning. I'm going to do some cool little, thumbnails and things for it. Try to make it look all pretty for you guys. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Orphanok, thank you for being here, by the way. Tim always wins. Timothy's the GOAT. Yeah, you see, he definitely smoked me. He smoked me real good. Yeah, I'll announce it through all our things. Twitter, Instagram. Even I'll try to announce it there. YouTube, and definitely in the Discord as well. So make sure to follow on all of those socials. Discord, you say? Indeed. What a legend. Timothy is the legend. Alright, y'all. I'm going to get on out of here. It's been just over an hour now, but I cannot wait to join you guys in our watch parties later tonight, continuing to watch the latest Star Wars stuff. So if you want to see more Star Wars coverage, make sure to subscribe to Vader's Lair. If you want to hang out for our Rebels rewatch, definitely subscribe. Check out our Discord. Thank you all for hanging with us. If you enjoyed this live stream, make sure to smash that like button. It helps out a ton. And I will see you all soon. May the Force be with you always. And have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy some Mandalorian. Peace.